So if you guys didn't check my video on Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Censorship when it came to Vice City, I hope you guys go and check that video out. But this is kind of to bounce off that video. Now, one thing that has been not necessarily censored, but that has been altered in GTA Trilogy is the character Kendall. Kendall is CJ's sister in the game Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And her character model, if you can see here, has been changed quite a bit. She's very, let's say, pasty in this version, or let's stop being silly, she's more light skin tone than she was depicted originally. Now, some of you might say, what's the big deal about this? Why should we care about that? Let me be clear before I go into this whole video on this topic. I personally do not care. However, I find this to be an interesting topic to bring up to you all, the gamers, especially the people who claim to care so much about any other time in media where someone's skin tone is altered, you all flip out. So let me explain to you what's going on here from some people's perspective. This does not mean I agree with these people and what they're saying, but I understand what they're saying because historically, yes, this has happened. So let me inform you if you didn't know. Commonly in media, they will take a character who is quote unquote black or supposed to be African American and lighten them up or necessarily choose a person of lighter skin tone. Kendall, along with CJ and Sweet, who are all related, are pretty darker skin toned people in the original game. Now, it doesn't mean that naturally or in a family someone can be lighter or darker, especially in a American black family. Of course they can. But one will have to question, why was this changed? Now, first off, in the mobile versions, and I guess the 360 and PS3 re-release of San Andreas, which is based off the mobile version, her skin tone was changed there too. But a lot of people, including myself, thought this might have been a bug or a glitch because her face was the same skin tone as it was in the original, but her body was lighter. In that game, that version has so many bugs and glitches, a lot of us just chucked it up to it was some bug or glitch. But clearly, it must have been a decision they were trying to make then, but maybe they messed it up because those versions were crappy. So they were able to fulfill what they wanted to do in this version. Now, that doesn't mean that Rockstar or the people behind the trilogy are racist or colorist, but it does make me wonder this. Why are so many people complaining about the Phil Cassidy situation, saying that censorship, they took out the rebel flag? Now, we all know that the rebel flag, the Southern Pride flag, the Confederate flag has a shaky history. There are people who say that they do not condone any of the negativity behind the flag. However, they do understand it, but they don't want to get rid of the positive things behind the flag. Fair. If that's truly what those people believe, I don't care. I don't even care if you're evil and you liked all the negative stuff behind the flag. It's a flag in a video game. That doesn't really have an effect on my life. Just being honest, and it doesn't trigger me or bother me. And neither does Kendall's skin tone being changed. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because you have so many of these gamers that will complain about any censorship, any alteration, any form of what they call SJW woke propaganda being pushed in their games, but yet they're not complaining about lightening her skin. You see, let me give you some examples in nerd culture and nerd media where people complained about skin tone changes with characters. We can go to the live action Teen Titans show, where in Teen Titan there's a character called Starfire. Starfire has always been depicted to have kind of orangish looking skin, which is not natural for anyone to have outside of our president, or our last president rather. Jokes aside, no one has orange skin. So anyone they would have picked, they would have, if they wanted to look exactly like Starfire is depicted in comics, they probably would have had to wear some type of tan or put some type of skin paint on them or something, or some CGI. So that's out the bag anyway. You can't find someone with orange skin. You find someone with some brown skin tone that may resemble it, but it ain't gonna look like how she's depicted in the comics. But a lot of people complain because they chose a dark-skinned female or a black woman to play the role. And their complaint was, well, it's not that she can't act or anything like that. It was simply because it's not authentic. That's not how Starfire looked. But no one can look like Starfire because no one has flaming red hair, green eyes. Well, some people have green eyes, but not that type of green eyes. And they don't have orange skin. So no one could look like that. And they complain. Anytime they quote unquote race swap a character, or even when it's not necessarily even race swapping, take the recent announcement for the new God of War where they show one of the giants being a what you would call a black female in any other case. But she's a giant in this game. A lot of people argue, well, in Norse mythology, there was nobody with this skin tone. Despite the fact that I don't know anything about Norse mythology, but I did my little research, and a lot of historians that try to figure things out about Norse mythology, they don't really bring up skin tone, so no one knows what they really look like. There were people that even were depicted to have blue skin, and that's pretty much the only time that people could really find where they brought up skin tone. So if people have blue skin, I don't know why someone couldn't be brown skinned. Now, do I care if someone's brown skin or not in a Norse mythology game? No. But all the people who are saying that that's not authentic to Norse mythology, let's say you're correct. And that's why you're complaining. It's not because you have some deep subconscious issue with people with that skin tone being in your game or in your product. It's just truly because it's not authentic. Well, just like Phil's shirt, you're not fighting for the rebel flag to be there because you support the negativity behind it. It's just not authentic. Well, why aren't any of you complaining that they changed Kendall's skin tone? Because that's not authentic either. I'm not trying to call any of you racist or what's the word, colorist. I'm just trying to figure it out. Why is it that this isn't a complaint? You can't tell me you notice the rebel flag not being there, but Kendall's skin tone not being the same, especially when there's multiple videos online of people pretty much taking every portion of the GTA Trilogy announcement trailer and finding the original game's counterpart picture to it. There's no way you didn't notice this. You just don't care. And I wonder why this doesn't bother you, because it's not authentic. This is a deeper discussion that you guys can have amongst yourselves. Again, I'm not saying this to irritate, but I know how gamers are. You're going to sit here and you're going to listen to me. You're going to get mad. Oh, you're some guy that's trying to make us do it. No, this is something you got to ask yourself within yourself. How come the rebel flag being removed bothered you, but this other thing that's changed did not bother you? How come you notice the one thing being changed, but not the other thing being changed? You have to figure that out for yourself. See, I notice both things being changed, and I personally don't care about either one of them being changed, but I'm creating YouTube videos and I'm creating content, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I want to spark discussion. So that's why I'm bringing it up. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up, and I find it interesting because I would really love to hear an answer. Why aren't you all complaining about that just as hard as you would complain about anything else? You're complaining about Tommy Vercetti looking chubby and not looking as thin as he was depicted in the original game. So you notice that. You notice a lot of things, but you don't notice Kendall's skin tone being lighter, significantly lighter. She almost looks like a ghost. But hey, maybe it's just me noticing things about y'all that you can't notice about yourselves. Hope that made some type of sense. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Peace. I'm out.